here with Mav Realty. I am here with JC of Cardinal Financial. We're going to cover a couple of topics today. The first one being first-time home buyers and what you should do to get started. I know a lot of you have never bought a home before and you just really have no clue about what to do, what the process looks like. So JC is going to help us with that today. So we are here in Palm Harbor, Florida at Fireside Pizza, which is one of our favorite local spots for pizza. Just great outdoor seating. Of course, the weather is gorgeous today. What's your favorite thing to eat here?
Oh man, I do the chicken parm sandwich. My kids always do a classic pizza. They love the pizza.
Yeah.
So this is a staple for us. You know, living in downtown Palm Harbor is nice because you have the golf cart community.
Yeah.
So if you do find a home somewhere within this area, you can golf cart down here, golf cart parking spots all over. You see it in the back
And
back
you
there.
see JC's golf cart back there?
I did. I showed up to work today in my golf cart. It's the best part about the local
Not
lender.
a bad life.
No. Local lender, local living.
So JC, what is the first step when you're a first-time home buyer and you want to start looking at homes? What should they do first?
Okay. First step is we're going to get on the phone and ask you any questions you want to ask. The second step from that is the actual online application. Because when you take the time to do that online application, it allows me to see the three most important steps or pieces of your file: the credit, your income, and your assets. With those three things, we can kind of piece together what you're pre-approved for, what your payment's going to look like, and ultimately what you're going to end up buying.
What loan programs are best for first-time home buyers?
Okay, so when people talk about first-time home buyers, I feel like there's two types of first-time home buyers. There's your first-time home buyers that need some down payment assistance. They don't quite have enough cash to get in by themselves, so that's where me as the lender will find the programs that'll bridge the gap to get them in. There's other first-time home buyers that have their own money, so they don't need the down payment assistance, but what they need is somebody to hold their hand, really guide them through the process, let them ask a lot of questions, not make them feel like they're a problem for asking those questions. And so those first-time home buyers end up with a more traditional program with no down payment assistance, but they're very open to asking a lot of questions, and we handle that no problem in our office.
Okay. And what sort of down payment would a first-time home buyer need to start saving for?
So your traditional first-time home buyers can use as little as 3% down on conventional. The key to that is good credit scores, right? So if you have a 3% down conventional, you want to have a good credit score. Your FHA loans, you only need 3.5% down. The good part is I have 100% covered of that. So we have programs, if you have the right credit score and you're a first-time home buyer, and the purchase price of the home is at a certain amount or less, we can actually cover 100% of your down payment.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about debt-to-income ratio and what that looks like for a first-time home buyer? What should you hope for your debt-to-income ratio to be? What range?
Yeah. So if you're kind of sitting there saying, can I afford a home? And what does that look like for me? So your debt-to-income ratio is determined by your minimum payments on your credit report and the new house you're trying to buy. So let's, in a situation where a first-time home buyer has a little bit of student loans, maybe has a small amount of credit card debt, and they have a car payment. Let's say the minimum payment on all of those items are $500. Okay? If you were to purchase a home, let's not pick a price point, but let's talk in general, where your total payment is $2,000. That would be your payment for the home, your taxes, your insurance, out the door is $2,000. So now you have this $2,000 debt for your home, and your minimum payments on your credit report are $500. So your total at $2,500. The way you figure out your ratio is your income to that number. So if you make $5,000 a month before your taxes on your W-2, your pay stub, so if you're a $5,000 a month earner and you have $2,500 for your debt, you're at a 50% ratio. That's a workable number. We're like right there where you want to be. You don't really want to be too much higher, although you can, in some situations, push people quite a bit higher to really make it work for their situation. But ideally, the good benchmark is thinking-wise is that 50% mark kind of puts you in a safe spot.
Could you tell me a little bit about the Hometown Heroes program that we have here in Florida?
Yeah, the Hometown Heroes program is pretty awesome, actually. So Hometown Heroes is a program that covers anybody that has a physical location in Florida for their business and has not owned a home in the last 3 years. There is a little bit of an income limit, but we could talk about that specifically for each program, or each family. But that program ran out of money recently. They've actually funded it 2 times.
Yeah,
However, it does. It goes so fast. Last time they funded it and it was gone within like 3 or 4 months. The cool part is that they have another $100 million out there in front of the state to hopefully be approved and maybe coming back to us sometime in July-ish. So there's not a hard time on that yet, but they're trying to put another $100 million through. to try and help the first-time home buyers in Florida.
Okay, great. Now, is that program free money, or do you guys have to repay that? How does that work?
It is inevitably repaid money. So
Okay.
it's not free in the terms of you never give it back. It is the assistance you need to bridge the gap, right?
Okay.
So it helps people that are just a little short or have closing costs but no down payment.
Okay.
Or their living situation is where that money given to them now will help them get in the home and they're okay with repaying it back later. So it's a little bit of a give and take on those programs sometimes, but the program does offer up to $25,000 in assistance.
Wow, that's
So you
great.
can use that for down payment, closing costs. There's a lot of options you can use that program. So I'm super excited about hopefully in July.
If someone is considering purchasing a home in the near future, what are their first steps? What
First step.
should they do?
All right. First step is if they have any questions, call me so we can iron those out on the phone. But the first step really is the online application. Spend 15 minutes typing out where you live, how long you live there, where you work, how long you work there, where your bank accounts are. Tell us a little bit about you. Let us pull your credit. The credit tells us a financial picture about how you've been on paying your bills. How you've been on paying your bills determines on what kind of interest rate we can give you, what kind of loan program we can approve you for. So the first step is 20 minutes of commitment from a buyer to do an online application, and then that follows up with a phone call from me.
Sounds easy enough.
Super easy. It really is. It's not that hard. The most difficult part is taking 20 minutes. Not being afraid of your credit report, right? Some people are afraid of your credit report. You have people tell you that their credit is not where they think it's good enough to buy a home, and you shock them when you call them and say, wait a minute, you're great. Everything lines up good. If you'd like to buy now, you can. Those are the good days. The good days. The tough ones are the ones where you got to work through some people, but being a first-time home buyer isn't necessarily about buying a house your first application either. You could do your application. We create like a whole plan for you. It's like a puzzle. We create a plan. You step back and say, okay, well, there's a few things I got to do. Let me follow up on those things that JC told me, and then I'll circle back in 60 days or 90 days, and you'll be ready at that point to move forward because you've worked your plan. So first-time home buyers are not always buying homes their first online application, but it shouldn't stop them from doing it so we can put their plan together for whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, whenever it may be.
So I'm going to have JC's contact information in the captions below. Reach out to him if you have any questions, and of course, contact me, and I'll be more than happy to get you in touch with JC myself. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Thank you.